Alright, what's up guys? So, this video being titled How I Handle My Depression. So, yeah, for those that don't know, and I feel like I'm speaking probably for a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people in this world, they deal with depression. I feel like it's either this. They don't want to admit that they're depressed because depression is a strong word. Like, that's something it's like you want to avoid at all costs. But I feel like at some point in time in a person's life, like you will deal with depression. And I feel like mine's like it really started been when I was in high school, and it's like I feel like during that time, like you try to like find, you try to like not find, well, more so kind of like try to find like acceptance, with people and stuff. And I feel like that's what, I was trying to do, for the longest is try to find that. So that's probably like another reason why I became a content creator. So I feel like, it's like where's the like best place to start, with trying to find acceptance with people. And I feel like the internet, I feel like once you found acceptance from there, like you can find acceptance anywhere. But then I feel like as the time like got like grew and stuff, and it's like, okay, of course I started to get older, I started to grow mentally. And yeah, it was like, okay, well, it's like, why am I trying to get acceptance from people? It's like, I've been trying for all this time, and it's like, all right, well, it's like if people don't accept me, they don't, I can't force them to. But the only thing that I can do is put myself out there, and then and hope that the right people come across it and stuff. So yeah, so it was that. And then of course, like with you relationships, like trying to find acceptance in that. And I'm like, and it was something that always like attacked me mentally and stuff. So yeah, it was like it was tough. It was tough, like and then I felt like when the pandemic had started, I really had like time to just sit and like kind of just be like with myself and things. And so now where I'm currently at, like with depression, and then overall trying to like move on to like a better spot in my life. And it's just really to just like learn how to like love yourself and learn how to like, hey, you know what? Like, if I'm by myself for like a good portion of my life, because it feels like it, I'm 25 years old, and it feels like I've been alone like literally my whole life. But that's the thing where it's like, you got family, you got friends, like if they wanted to hang out with you, if they wanted to do things with you, it's like stuff can very well like that then those things can happen. But if not, it's like I feel like that's like one thing. I'm gonna try to talk on like all aspects of depression. So I feel like like talking on that, like with people, if people don't want to be chill with you, people don't want to be chill with you. It's like it's just something that you gotta learn how to accept. And that's one thing I feel like what helps with depression is learning how to accept the things that's making you depressed, because I feel like that's like one of the key things to how like depression elevates so much in a person, is that you don't want to accept that something had happened to you and stuff. So that's and it's tough. It's honestly, it's one of the toughest pills to swallow. And you're literally trying your hardest to like figure out like ways around there, figure out. And it's like, no, it's like you have to accept that. And then it's like you have to, it's like, and it's like, it's honestly like some like tough love words, but it's like you have to accept that stuff and you have to move on, because if you don't, that stuff, it's gonna eat you up. And that's one thing I think. Where was I can't remember if I was talking about it like on my podcast or on my stream, but I just remember back when I was in high school, and there was this girl that I liked. And yeah, I was talking about it on my podcast, but no, there was this girl that I liked, and I'm saying like freaking like, and she was a friend of mine's. And so I'm like, it wasn't even like I was thinking about a whole future. Like I was thinking of like having a family with this girl. Like that's when you have that love for a person, it's honestly, it's deadly for your brain, it's deadly for your heart, like so like your whole body and stuff. It will tear you apart, when you have that love for somebody but they don't have that love back. So yeah, that was that situation. I think I've talked on it before in videos, and if you follow my podcast, then you very well have heard me talk about it on there. But yeah, so the girl, she I remember there was one day I was just gonna like ask her out. and I had to find out the hard way and stuff. She was already in a relationship, and I think there was a day where I remember I asked her, like, like what was like what's like wrong with me, because I mean, like, it was some point in time after like that relationship ended, and I shot my shot. And actually, no, like, I remember I told her while she was in a relationship, because I'm like, you can't just let feelings like that just go and stuff. So it's like, and that's the thing. It's like, you gotta like talk about it. But I feel like if you talk about it to the wrong people, all it is just gonna be more damaging to you. So I talked to her about it. And yeah, it was tough. Like, it was one of those things where it was like, you don't really expect your own friend to say it to you, but it was so she told me that the reason why she wouldn't date me is because I'm black. When you hear that, especially at a young, like, young-minded person and things, like somebody that's just, they're like still developing like parts of their brain, and then something like that, like, literally like tattoos itself in your brain. Yeah, it's like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. It's definitely gonna be like a tattoo on a soft spot and stuff. So for years, like, it haunted me, because that was something that I just, that I always had thought of. Like, when I would go out and, talk or go on a date with a girl or talk with a girl, that's just something that's like, that's lingering in the back of my mind. Like, she's probably like, and it's overthinking. Overthinking is also like just, something that you don't necessarily, that you shouldn't do. But it's like, I feel like I'll tell a person, don't overthink. It's like a person's still gonna overthink. Like, there's something where it's like, I can't, I could tell a person don't overthink. It's like, at the end of the day, you have that choice or not. But I still overthink myself. I overthink a lot of different situations. So that's why it's like, it's still kind of just tough for me to just go out and do things, because I'm overthinking so much. But anyways, yeah, it's like after that, it's like that trauma had just lasted with me for years. And it sucks, and honestly, it sucks, because you're like, you don't expect somebody to tell you that, especially a friend. And I'm like, I don't know, like, how to change that. That's something where it's like, I'm not gonna change it, but it's like, fam, like, what am I supposed to do about that? Like, I can't do anything about that. It's like, literally, it's something that I'm born with. I'm born with blackness. I can't help that. And so, anyways, yeah, but that situation, it traumatized me for years, because I'm like, it was just something that like always just sat with me. And it's like, how could I have avoided that situation? It's like, you can't necessarily, because it was like, I remember when we started being friends, like, fam, like, it was mad chill. Like, I had to say, that's why I was like, I started developing feelings for her, is because I'm like, nah, she's a mad chill person. This is somebody I'm like, I want to spend time with and stuff. So then it was just like, after that, and I was like, nah, fam. It's like, sometimes I, like, that's the thing which sucks, is because, like, when you sit down and think of like of a life situation, you realize like it was like something to like make you stronger. And I'm like, fam, like, I just felt like that just made, in a way, it did make me stronger and stuff. I feel like if I hear some stuff like that again, I'm not going to have like an emotional breakdown like I did the first time around. I'm like, okay, I've been down this route, only thing that I can do is just move on from the situation. So it's like, best thing to do. So anyways, then it's like, after that, then it's like, not that same scenario where it's like I was turned down, because of the color of my skin, but it was just another time. It was because, overall, like me just being rejected again. So it's like having like that build up just to get torn down all over again. Yeah, that also had happened. That happened in the beginning of the pandemic. And it tore me apart. Like, honestly, it did. Like, that was something I just really wasn't expecting. And it's like, for it to happen a second time, different girl, wasn't the same girl, but I learned my lesson with her. And I'm like, I'm not going back down that route. But it's like, to have, like, that's how I started off my pandemic and stuff. And so it was, yeah, just like horrible depression, to the point where it was like I couldn't eat right. I didn't want to record videos. The only thing that I could like bring myself to doing, because I was like, it was either because I'm like, okay, I gotta do something, or it's like I like didn't have like nothing to like post for that day, but recording podcast episodes. So that was the only thing that I can like really do. But like showing my face, and it was just like that same stuff just going through my head all over again. So that like that tore me apart. I had to say that, even though the weird thing about it is that and it's like something I'm not afraid to admit, but I remember when the first situation had happened, like, I cried a lot. Like, it seemed like I was crying, like, every day. I was crying, going to sleep crying. Because it's like, it's something you ain't got no control over. It's like, even when she told me, I started crying. I was like, I'm an emotional person. I can't help it. Sorry. But, and then, like, with this last situation, it honestly, that was scary, because I'm like, at least with the first time, I remember I could eat. Like, if I wanted to play video games, I could do that. But like now I remember, or not now, but like when the situation happened like a couple years back, and I just remember, like, not being able to just function. Like, all I wanted to do, the only thing that I found comfort in was just laying in my bed and just being sad. Like, that was it. Like, I couldn't really watch YouTube videos, TV. Like that was just at a point in time where I had just felt so alone, bruh. Like, it was like like when you honestly just hear that silence, like, it's crazy. It's honestly, it's like some of the most, like, craziest stuff. And so eventually, like, of course, like, I got better. I'm able to, record videos and stuff. But no, like, it was, man, I'm telling you, like, it was a tough thing to, deal with. And it's still like something where it's like, and I guess, like, I'm just going through the same stuff that I was going through when I was in high school. It's like, I'm just building myself up all over again. Hopefully I'm not building myself up for another heartbreak. Like, hopefully next time around there, it's like, okay, like, it's, like, I'm not gonna, like, self-destruct, or not self-destruct, but I'm just not gonna overall just find myself, like, laid out in the bed. Because man, I'm telling you, it's like this last time around, I had to say, like, I got careless. Like, I didn't care I just didn't care about nothing. It's like when you just have, like, that build up, and then just to get let down and stuff, like, it's, it's crazy. Because it's like, dang, bro, like, what did I do wrong? So yeah, it's like with that. So overall, like, I feel like the key to, like, fixing your depression is that you gotta get up, you gotta do stuff, you gotta just operate. You can't, like, because if you lay around and do absolutely nothing, it's just gonna get worse. So that's why, like, I always encourage people. I'm like, if you are depressed, like, go, like, get up and do things. But it's like, if there's, like, and just find stuff, like, just find whatever. It's like, you need to, like, go out of your comfort zone and do some things. Do whatever you need to do to just feel better in life. Because I feel like the more you do things, the more memories you make. I feel like whatever your depression was, like, it ain't even gonna matter anymore. So, like, when you find, like, just you're able to just, like, do something. Because with me, I had to say, like, how I help myself with depression is depression is content creating. Just sitting and recording as much content as I possibly can. And I just feel like it takes my mind off of things. It helps me, like, function better and stuff. So, but yeah, that's just, what works for me. Maybe something might be different for you. You don't necessarily have to do content creating, but if it's something else that you can think of, then do that. Whether it's walking the dog, talking with friends, family, going out, doing some not some, like, wild stuff, but, like, just doing, like, something, like, adventurous. Do whatever you need to do, all right? But anyways, to anybody that's out there dealing with depression, feel free to talk to people. If you need somebody to talk to, even in my comment sections, do that. Reach out to people, randomly reach out to people and stuff. Like, who knows? And people can be, like, the greatest friends that you can possibly have in life. And so do what you need to do. But anyways, yeah, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace.